Hi everybody, welcome to another one of our awesome tech videos. Today I'm going to do a pretty short introduction to Google Photos, the mobile edition, because Google Photos is on your computer but also a mobile app. So what you're going to need, you'll need a mobile device with Google Photos app installed. If you are using an Apple device, you'll have to go and install the Google Photos app. If you're using an Android device, Google Photos may already be installed. It might be your primary photo app. Samsung has their own, so you may still have to go in and download Google Photos, but just check and see on your phone or tablet, whichever one you need. You will need an internet connection, maybe. So there are certain things that you can do within the app, and then of course to download the app you will need an internet connection. But there are certain things to do within the app that you will need an internet connection to do, because Google Photos is actually kind of sort of a photo-based or a photo-specific cloud storage service. And then you'll need a Google account login. So that can be your Gmail account. That is the same. It's just a Google account. But you will need that login to use Google Photos, because that's how it knows who you are when they store the photos. So with that, I'm going to hop in. So this is my iPad home screen. I'm working on an iPad Air 2, so that's kind of why it looks the way it looks. And then Google Photos is right down here. It's a little colorful pinwheel. And I'm just going to open it up, and so this is what it opens to. It almost always opens to just your general photo list. You can scroll. I don't have that many in here, but you can scroll through and see all of the photos that you have. From here, you can just tap on a photo. So if you kind of want to go look at it, you can tap on a photo. At the bottom, on kind of from left to right, you can upload. That's what the little box with the arrow is. It allows you to upload to all kinds of things. You can see down here on the bottom, I can send it to people. I can share it to various things. I can also add other photos to that list if I would like to. Back out of that, and then so back at the photo. Right here, I can start to edit. So I can add filters. If I wanted to change this to black and white, I can do that. If I want to change kind of the coloration, so if I want to kind of wash out the color more, take out some of the color, I can do that. And then over here on the right, I can change its orientation and size. So I can use these little markers to help crop part of it out. So if I'm like, there's too much red in that top, I can cut some of that red out. I could tilt the photo if I want to. I can do all sorts of things with it. And then whenever you're finished, you can just tap done if you would like to save your changes. And then over here on the left, there's an option to reset. That is what I'm going to do. And then done. So, and then I can tap done, and I'm just going to come up here to the X. It's going to ask if I want to save my changes or discard. Save is up here on the top right. I don't want to save the changes just because I like the photo the way it is, but I can choose to keep editing if I would like to. I'm going to discard for now. And then right here, this one next to edit is Google Lens. So this works best on other Android or Google devices, but Google Lens will look at the image and try to give you information about what is in that picture, which I think is really cool. So you can see it took that picture, it saw that it was a dinosaur, and they figured that it was one of these kinds of dinosaurs. So they've brought up search results for you based on that. And then at the very bottom, on the very right, is a little trash can icon. So if I would like to delete this photo, I can. If I go up to the top, this is casting, so I could actually cast it to other devices if I would like to. I don't need to. I can tap this little star to favorite this photo, which will put it in a favorites album. And then if I tap that little 3-dot icon or 3-dot menu, I've heard some people call it a meatball menu, this brings up some other options. So I can add this photo to an album, I can move it to an archive, I can delete it from the device. Google Photos actually allows you to order prints if you would like to, so you could order those photos. They do cost money, they don't just do it for you for free. And you can save the image as a PDF, which could be helpful if you're trying to share files across. And then you have some information about the photo below it, so the date that it was either taken or saved to the device. This is actually from a free stock photo site, so this is when I downloaded the photo, not when I actually took it. You can add a description, and then it has kind of the file name and then where it was backed up. You can edit the date and time if you would like to, which is kind of cool. So I'm going to back out of this. So you can see that I don't have a whole lot of things in here. But if I come down here and tap on library, this is where you can kind of do a little bit more with those images. So you can see there's the favorites album. So if you favorite any photos, they will go there. There's your archives. If you choose to archive any photos, they'll go there. Utilities comes down here, and this is where you can kind of really tinker and play with a lot more things. So you can set up animations, collages, and movies. So if you need to do like a cool photo show or something for a wedding or something like that, you could create that in here. If you would like to move a lot of photos to the archive or just free up space, this is a way to kind of start organizing it a little bit. If you have any frames, you can do that as well. So that's the utilities. And then trash, which right now has nothing in it, but I will show you in a little bit what's going on there. And then right here in the middle of the screen is the albums. So right now I have 2 albums, Toys and Signs. I can also start and create a new album. So if I just tap on that plus, I can give it a title, maybe. There we go. Oh, well, Untitled works. Me and my tap screen aren't getting along today. And then I can select photos. So if I tap on select photos, I was going to do animals. So animals, I can tap all of the photos that have animals in them, toy or otherwise. So like that. So you can see the little blue check mark popped up next to each of those photos that I tapped. That shows that it was selected. And then in the top right, I can add. And so there, now I can add that title to animals. There we go. Done. So you can, obviously you can change that sort of information when you are finished. If I would like to add more photos, I can tap that add photos button over here on the left. I can also share this album kind of like I can share an individual image. Up in the top right, you have that little kind of image thing with the plus. That is another option to add photos. Can't add text, try again in a few minutes. So there are options occasionally that you can add text to photos if you just have the one in there. You can do location. These were all downloaded from the same general spots. They came from the internet, so they're not going to have an associated location. But if you do have your location services turned on and you are taking photos and saving them here, they can actually save the location that they were taken, which is kind of cool. If you're going on a vacation, you can save photos based on, wherever you were. If you change your mind about some of these pictures, you're like, yeah, maybe I don't want the toys, you can remove them. So if you're removing a photo from an album, it just removes it from the album. So right now, so if I took that out, it's just removed from the album. It is still in my photos. However, I'm going to go back to my photos. If I choose that I don't really want this picture anymore and decide to trash it, so this is saying that it's okay to remove this photo from Google Photos, but it's also going to be deleted from an album. So if it's already in an album and you delete it from kind of the main photo stream, it's going to take it out of all of your photos, including any albums. I'm going to go ahead and say delete. If you do that and you panic, like, oh no, I actually wanted to keep that photo, you can go into library, go into your trash, and your photo is there. So Google Photos will hold on to photos and anything else that you delete for 60 days before it will trash it for you. So you just long press on it to select it. You could also tap select in the top right, and then you have your options. You can delete. So if you tap delete, that will delete it permanently. So that photo is gone. Or you can tap restore, which will put it back in your photos, kind of the whole run. It won't put it back in the album. So if you want it back in that album, you do have to put it back in yourself. So in a nutshell, that is Google Photos. I did mention that there are some things that you need to have your internet for. So I'm going to tap on my user here. I'm using a different account today just so I could have these specific images and not a lot of extra stuff. There is a little thing here with a little cloud with a check mark on it that says backup complete. That literally means that I have my backup and sync on. So this is something that you can turn on and off. I'm tapping the little gear symbol, which is the settings, to bring this up. And so you can see backup and sync is turned on. If you are using Google Photos and you have the app and you are willing to use the website version as well, you can do backup and sync, and that will save photos across. So any photos that you save to your device with Apple Photos will then sync, or with Google Photos, will then sync to your Google Photos that you can access anywhere with an internet connection. So if you have multiple devices with Google Photos, they will all have access to the same photos. You can also have access to those photos online as well. So that is Google Photos in a nutshell. Thank you for joining us yet again. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned a little bit about Google Photos. I am sorry if I accidentally called it Apple Photos a couple of times. I'm on an Apple device, so it's kind of sometimes easy to kind of switch back and forth, but I promise you this was Google Photos. If you would like to watch this video again, or any of our other videos, you can find us on YouTube. Just search for MCPL-Mo and you will find all of the library's different videos and playlists. Hunt through them and you will find all of our tech videos and tech playlists. If you would like to watch new videos as they premiere, you can catch them on YouTube, but you can also find us on Facebook. Just search for the MCPL 360 page and you can watch all of our video premieres when they happen. Those happen Tuesdays at 2, Wednesdays at 1, and Fridays at 1. Thank you so much for joining us, and have a good week.